Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. That's still my email. It's still in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing the Chopard L.U.C Chopard Qualite Fleurier Jubilee. A 25th anniversary celebration of 25 years of Chopard manufacture watchmaking. This is a stainless steel 25-piece limited edition, 39 millimeters in diameter, 9.1 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 47.8 millimeters, with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, when you throw it on the wrist, and my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, it's got a fair amount of presence because of the strength of those lugs. Let's withdraw my cuff for a moment, get a better sense of this watch. It's nowhere near overlapping the edge of my wrist. You can see the lugs are beautifully tapered and fine and thin at their termination point. I would recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. And you can see being quite flat with a domed bezel. It slides easily underneath a dress cuff, and it wears comfortably. It has a vintage look throughout, and that starts with the calfskin strap that's used in a rich medium brown with a natural grain. You can see there's a blue contrasting binding stitch, sheer cut, showing you the thick layers of leather employed on the bottom. You can see a rich blue calfskin to match, no crimping, no gouging. You can see this is a factory strap in brand new condition. We have the L.U.C Chopard manufacturer logo on the stainless steel pin buckle, which features artful use of satination and polish. The case itself is all of high polish, and you can see that the lugs are slightly stepped out from the case band, giving them a wonderful independent sculptural form. They're long, arcing, pointed, tapered, and gorgeously proportioned. The case itself is relatively simple with a domed bezel that's slightly inset from the case band, and then the case back also slopes back in a sort of negative tumble home. Taking a look at the crown, it's a push down L.U.C Chopard logo on it, and then we have a cambered sapphire over dial that is described by Chopard as a sector style dial with chevron style indices as well as stick indices. The hands at center are a fusion design, and the watch, though a dress model, is quite well loomed. You'll have no trouble discerning the time in the dark. The dial features a combination of galvanic blue as well as silver white coloration, and my favorite detail is the way the outer portions of the chevron indices are scalloped by the application of luminova. You can also see that they're beautifully black polished on their top, and the facets of the indices at the quarters are also beautifully polished. The hands are mirrored. We have a sunken sub-seconds with a concentric pattern inboard and an alpha style hand. The watch is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. It's also gone through the chronofiable test, which is a brutal 3-week durability test. It does include some accuracy standards, but it's more of a beatdown of the movement to determine its overall durability and reliability in extended and unsympathetic use. So you have COSC, chronofiable, and then also, when we turn it over, we have Qualite Fleurier. You could see the little Q on the movement. The idea was to create something for Fleurier area, Val de Travers, and Neuchâtel companies in the locality so that they could have a standard that meant as much as the Poinçon de Genève. But of course, you can only get the Geneva hallmark if the watch is made in the city or canton of Geneva. So obviously, in Fleurier, not qualified. That doesn't mean that the quality is any less. So in 2004, Chopard and a consortium, including the government of Neuchâtel, launched QF, which includes everything from the details of parts to the quality of the assembly. You could see that this right here is based on the original Chopard caliber from 1996. It's caliber 9609L, so it is a chronometer. It is a micro rotor automatic. You can see it has a 22 karat triple finished rotor. You have straight solarization, then you have a sort of snailing on the edge, and then you have a mirrored bevel on the side, but it's 22 karat in white gold. It winds 2 stacked mainspring barrels, which are present adjacent. They endow the watch with a 65-hour power reserve. The only feature it doesn't have is hacking. Everything else, this is stacked. 5-position chronometer style adjustment because, well, it's a chronometer, 29 pivot joules, and a balance that beats away at 4 hertz. All of this water resistant down to 30 meters. You can see QF is an encompassing standard that also includes the watch itself, which is why it's on the case back as well as the movement. If you look, you can see that the beveling here is world class and that the beveling extends to all of the jewel and the screw sinks as well. We have lovely abrasive wheel laid Côte de Genève. I guess they're not Côte de Genève, we'll call them Côte de Fleurier. And the stripes are gorgeous and perfectly aligned from component to component. You can see the engine turning on the base plate. We have satination on the wheels. Again, I'm going to go back to that beveling because it is just so delectable and delightful. The bridge underneath the rotor, you can see, features that same spiral snailing. And then all screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots and circumference, as good as anything made in Geneva, and in fact, quite a bit better than much of what is made in Geneva. Reach out to me. I am T. Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.